Well, this is the greatest moment we've ever lived. Yes, aren't you glad that we all woke up this morning, rare to go, which means we have purpose, yes? Absolutely. It's just a great day and the best weather ever. I'm going to talk about the weather more. You know, I'm a Floridian. It was either hot or raining, but here you have all kind of choices. But right now we're gathered in the grace, knowing that we come here as we are and we will not leave here the way we came. Does that sound like a good agreement that we're going to have with each other? So let us welcome Woody and our band and our vocalist this morning. And we're going to do a song together. Yes? Yes. So, day by day. Let's give her lots of love today. Thank you.
Thank you, Temple. I know you know this one. Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear God, these things I pray. To see you more clearly, to love you more dearly, follow you more dearly, day by day. Oh, day by day, day by day. Oh, dear God, these things I pray. To know you more clearly, to hold you more nearly, to honor you more dearly, day by day. Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, these things I pray. To feel you more nearly, to speak to you more clearly, to celebrate you dearly, day by day. Day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. You know it. To see thee more clearly, to love thee more dearly, to follow thee more nearly, day by day, by day, by day, by day.
Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. So to bring in a little bit of our history, you know, our history describes us. It doesn't need to define us, but it definitely describes us. And bringing in some of our Fillmorian history, Charles Fillmore, to me, one of the greatest writings was The Great Invocation. We are now in the presence of pure being, and we are immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. You know what immerse means? It means the first time you were in love. Some of you have to go back a little ways, some of you a while. But remember when you were in that feeling of being in love for the first time and you never could sleep and you didn't need to and you didn't know what time it was? Well, that's what being immersed is. You want to join in that reality, right? We are in that presence. And he calls us to call forth that divine wisdom and erase our mortal limitations. For from the pure substance of love, we can bring into manifestation our world according to thy perfect law. Yes? A law that's always working, even for those that say it doesn't work. It works for them by not working, doesn't it? And so we are in that place of being awake. And we come together every week in tribal energy so we can get our B12 shot. We can remind each other of what we already know. This great teaching that teaches you how to think, not what to think. I don't know about you, but when I read some of the titles on the news throughout the world, to me there's one common answer that would be the answer for all of those things. And that would be the teaching of unity. Yes. which is the teaching of love. Yeah, so everyone's right. Give yourself a big, we all got it right this morning. So we're delighted to welcome those of you that are with us online this morning, those of you that are with us on YouTube. As you're touched by our services, please share them, because we do not want to stay in the closet here in Unity of Santa Barbara. We want to be this mighty force unto the world, yes, to do what we just said, right? And so we want to greet all of you. We have a wonderful guest this morning with us. She's here from Palm Desert. She also lives in St. Pete Beach. Kat O'Keefe Canavas, if you would please stand. She's doing the workshop today at 11:45, Unmask Your Dreams. And she will also be leading the meditation today. So we have now officially launched having workshops at Unity Santa Barbara Spiritual Community Center. Right? I mean, isn't that great? It's just the beginning. You haven't seen anything yet. So bring seatbelts on Sunday when you come. Right? If you are with us for the first time today, would you please stand so we can acknowledge you? Our ushers would like to give you a beautiful sunflower. And it looks like you may need to stand for a while because we caught them off guard. So if you'd stand again. The flower represents the perfect unfoldment of life, whether it is a seed, a bud, or a blossom. And we are always spiritual beings immersed in the law wherever we are. And so we bless you, and let us give our guests a great big hand. You can also go out to the welcome desk, and we have mala beads for you. So lots of blessings here. Those of you that are seated next to one of our guests, please give them a warm First Unity welcome. Speaking of warm First Unity welcome, Dr. Jim Quacco is going to do our daily word this morning. All right.
Our daily word for today is gather. The affirmation is, we gather and magnify the presence of God. As I gather with others in the spirit of love and peace, my awareness of God's presence becomes more powerful, even palpable. Together, we create an energy, a vibration, greater than any of us has alone. I'm comfortable and at ease when I notice our differing appearances, preferences, backgrounds, and opinions. Because I'm reminded of the limitless diversity of divine expression and my place in it. When I join in fellowship with family, friends, and others whom I hold dear, each of us becomes a mirror for each other. We see in one another the divine presence that lives in and expresses as every person. The unifying energy of divine love unites and binds us together. In this love, we are one. And from Psalm 133, how very good and pleasant it is when kindred live together in unity.
So I think because they are still calling me new here, they're giving me tasks that I don't normally do. Has that ever happened to you? You know what I mean? We're going to stand and we're going to do the chant, thank you for this day, and I'm going to lead. How is that? Sing over me, right? Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Same word, thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. this wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. That's as easy as it is, right? And now we're going to say for life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. You got it? Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful life. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful life. How about health? Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful health. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful health. One more, friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. So take a moment and say hello to someone you haven't met before. He's not going to hire me.
Look at there. Oh, doesn't it feel good in here? Well, I do want to just introduce our newcomers that are here, Sue and Richard Van Germet, because they come from my church in Unity of Ventura, and I'm most grateful that you're here. Thank you. They're dear, dear friends. And also, I'm extra magnetic today, so don't look here. We've tried everything to get this to not do this, but anyway. This is the time in our service where we're going to be having more and more people come up and tell us what unity means to them. And so I've been elected to let you know what unity means to me, and really it means everything. And as many of you know, I'm fourth generational unity. But that doesn't quite mean that it's sunk in. The day that it sunk in was when I was in high school. I was in just the first part of 9th grade, and my boyfriend, the quarterback of the football team. Yeah, Buck Dobin. Who left me for Cindy Taylor, the cheerleader. So then again, it's like when these things happen, you're searching, right? Isn't that what happens? And so my grandmother gave me a book by Catherine Ponder called The Prospering Power of Love. that is when these unity principles finally sunk in, and it changed my life. And I thought, this was when I was about 14, and it was at that time that I had a series of experiences in the Unity Church, and I got, this is the path I need to go. Unity is, as I've said, it's not a religion, it's a practice, and I love the practice. And if anyone were to take away that practice, I'd say, okay, get me off planet Earth, because on planet Earth, we need these principles. We need to stay positive. We need each other. So that's how finally unity got into my soul and what unity means to me, and extended. I feel like what unity of Santa Barbara means to me is that I feel like I finally, that there's a coming home. I have a great resonance with each of you, and thank you. And I know for Temple as well, we are most grateful to be here as your spiritual leaders, and that is what unity means to me.
Good morning, Unity of Santa Barbara. I'm so happy to be with you. My name is Cathy, and I'm actually connected with the First Unity in St. Petersburg and out in Palm Desert. So we are unity here. We are unified through our hearts, through our souls. So I would love to do the meditation today. And it's a meditation that I do every single time I do my radio show at night. It's actually a video podcast, and it's a way to center yourself, cleanse yourself, clear yourself, and then also be protected. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 deep breaths together, and we're going to imagine any negativity connected in that breath of life. And we're going to blow it across the room into the purple flame of Saint Germain, where it's going to get converted into beautiful golden energy so we don't litter. Yeah, we're not even going to litter on that level. And then we're going to imagine holding our power gift. And a power gift can be anything at all to you, something that is powerful to you, a piece of jewelry your mom gave you. I wear my mother's wedding ring. She passed today, 35 years ago. So I wear her wedding ring. It can be something somebody gave you. It can be your car. If you love your car, imagine it shrunk up in your hand. Anything at all. And we're going to create a mirrored bubble around us that only our spirit guides and guardian angels will be allowed to bring anything that is of the highest and best in. Okay? You ready? Okay. Feel yourself centering in your chair, just kind of sitting deep. Just dissolving into your chair. Now I want you to take a deep breath in. Hold it. Hold it. Fill up your lungs. Imagine any little specks of negativity. Maybe something somebody said to you this past week. Getting caught in that breath of life. Now blow it out across the room. Another deep breath in. Fill your lungs up even more. Through your mouth. Fill it up. Hold it. Imagine any specks of negativity, maybe something you said to someone else. In that breath of life, blow it out. Into the purple flame of Saint Germain. One more time, really deep. Deep breath in. A negativity you've been carrying all your life. Pushed it way back in your mind. Push it into that breath of life. Blow it out across the room. Into the purple flame of Saint Germain, you see all those breaths of lives turning into beautiful golden light and returning to the universe. Now I want you to imagine holding your power gift in your hand. And I want you to swing it in your mind all around your body, creating this beautiful bubble, giant, gorgeous bubble with all the colors. And it's also a mirror, so the whole world is reflected off of it. Only that which is of the highest and best, brought by our spirit guides, may come into that bubble. Everything else is reflected back from whence it came. We wish it so, and therefore it is. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Feel yourself coming back into your body. If you need to, take your fingers to get regrounded. Isometrics. Put your fingertips together. Press 3 times. That magic number 3. Great. Now reverse it. Fingertip to fingertip again. And pull 3 times. 1. Feel yourself going in more. 2. And now the 3rd, and you are in and back. Thank you so much. Sorry.
I've looked in the mirrors. I've seen the face of a stranger. I've chosen some wrong roads and it put my soul in danger. And when I was dangling at the end of my rope, from out of the dark night, I heard a voice of hope saying, what a light will shine from behind the mountain on the morning of our remembering, and how the sun will rise through the mist of tears when we come back to ourselves. And when a heart gets broken, it's in need of a healing. And I can tell by your teardrops that you know the feeling. And maybe what we're getting is our wake-up call. Listen for the answer, 'cause it's inside us after all. What a light will shine from behind the mountain on the morning of our remembering, and how the sun will rise through the mist of tears when we come back to ourselves. And a change will come when we spread our wings and become great and mighty. Oh, what a light will shine from behind the mountain when we come back to ourselves. You can sing this with me. Oh, what a light. I can see it shining. What a light. It's shining on and on. Oh, you've got a choir here, you ladies. It's pointing me my way back home. What a light will shine from behind the mountain on the morning of our remembering, and how the sun will rise through the mist of tears when we come back to ourselves. Go on, Woody. Woo! Ah, yeah. Shine from behind the mountain on the morning of our remembering. I love you dancing back there. Sun will rise through the mist of tears when we come back to ourselves. Oh, and a change will come when we spread our wings and become great and mighty. Oh, what a light will shine from behind the mountain when we come back to ourselves. And when we come back to ourselves. And when we come back to now you guys can get gospel with me. Say, Mr. Woody DeMarco.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I like you. Yeah, good vibrations you got going on there. So what does Apollo 11, cheese, and a strict Southern Baptist minister all have in common? Well, you're about ready to, don't even guess, girl, because it actually, you'll see in a moment, because I am a storyteller and I weave things in. Well, the little known details about Apollo 11, one fascinating fact was that the pulse rate of the crew upon takeoff, they were taking the pulses. And as this giant 320-foot tall rocket blasted off from Kennedy Space Center with 7.5 million pounds of power, Mission Control remotely were taking the heartbeats of each of the astronauts. And as expected, the astronauts, Neil Armstrong and Michael Collins, their heartbeats were quite high, 110 beats per minute, over that. Meanwhile, Buzz Aldrin's pulse registered at a beautiful 82 per minute. much. It was just in this place of being in a fully relaxed situation. And so when they were asked what their thought process was, Neil Armstrong and Michael Collins had similar thoughts, like, well, anything can happen here. You know, we could blow up at any moment and not see our families again, or something could go wrong and I need to be in control. I need to know how to step it up. You know, those usual thoughts when you're being thrown into the sky like that. However, Buzz Aldrin had a different perspective. He was in the now moment of, wow, how great is this? He was in this holy instant. He was just enjoying the moment. Same experience, two different perspectives. Now, my husband, Steve, and I, we love cheese. We like trying cheeses from all over the world. And that's the way I grew up. Thank God my brother and I grew up with parents that were extremely adventurous. They loved to travel and they loved to try new foods. That's why I'm a foodie. I really like trying new foods. And cheese was always a big part of the food tasting experience. So Steve was telling me, you know, when I was growing up, I hated cheese. I mean, who hates cheese, really? And so he went on to say, it wasn't until I got older and I went to a friend's house and cheese was served and he asked, what is this? I love it. And they said, it's cheese. Well, he found out that he grew up with Velveeta. And what is Velveeta anyway? I mean, it's cheese whiz with some silly putty, maybe, you know. So he grew up with it on crackers and on his sandwiches that he took to school, and he may have caulked the tub with it, maybe. Just kidding. So therefore, the first time I tried Velveeta, I was in my 40s. And a friend of mine had me over for dinner, served it on a cracker, and I looked at her and I said, oh my God, I love this stuff. What is it? And it was? It's all perspective. Same cheese, different perspective. Some years ago, a dear friend of mine who I grew up with and who is a very strict Southern Baptist minister, who was telling me that he was going to be the keynote speaker at the Southern Baptist Convention. And I said, oh my God, that is fantastic. Where is it going to be? He said, Las Vegas. I had to think about that for a moment. I always saw him as one of those frozen chosen type of ministers, if you know what I'm saying. So everything, right, is perspective. The world you see is through your eyes only. The world you see is through your own choosing of your interpretation of it. Therefore, today, I want to offer you a new perspective of our Sunday experience. Because many of you have the same event, just different perspectives. Starting, I think it was in about 2004, church or God was kind of just not the end thing. And people would cringe at the mere mention of God. God got a bad rap. Places of worship had been seeing a great decline in attendance. And this is just my perspective, but I wasn't too thrilled when Unity put out a book called How to Pray Without God. If I told people that I was a minister, it would be like I just said a few really bad curse words in their presence. And I would justify myself and I'd say, but I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. Unity is spiritual, it's not religious, and I found myself having to defend myself. So I got wise, and every time I would go to a gathering of people who did not know who I was, and they would ask, "So what do you do for a living?" I would say, "I'm a CEO of a nonprofit organization." Which is true. Just a different answer. And the response always was, "Oh, isn't that nice?" So all places of worship across the country of every faith have been looking at, what do we have to offer? Who are we? How can we offer a different perspective? Therefore, the perspective I want to offer you is that we are a spiritual community where we leave all other perspectives outside the doors, and we come here to experience a higher vibration where God is not shamed, but God is palpable, where there is a frequency greater than ourselves that can do all things, where there is a higher frequency that does more for you than what you can do alone. It is a place where there is permission for you to go higher. You see, being in group consciousness is very important. As you know, group consciousness will either make you feel awful and bring you down, or it'll make you feel good and bring you higher. Our co-founders, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, knew the great importance of group consciousness, and this is how Silent Unity got started. Scientific research has found that when you have a feeling in your heart, we are creating electrical magnetic energy outside of our bodies. And that energy extends beyond our bodies out into the world around us. And what is so interesting is that it has been discovered that waves of energy not only extend 1 or 2 yards beyond our body, but many, many miles beyond where we physically reside. So right now, in this sanctuary, as a group consciousness coming together in higher thought and higher prayer, we are in effect affecting beyond the walls here a positive effect beyond even the city of Santa Barbara. And this is why group prayer, group consciousness can be so powerful, so valuable. Having others lift you up can be extremely healing in your mind, in your body, in your emotions, and in your daily affairs. Now, in Hindu and Buddhist traditions, they encourage everyone to participate in what they call satsang. Many of you might know what that is. And satsang means in the company of truth. So it means that when you are in a church or a temple or prayer meetings or a meditation group, anywhere where people are immersing, and I love the word immerse, you use the word immersing, when we are immersing themselves or each other, when we're in groups, when we're immersing ourselves in elevated, high-minded thoughts, you then take on that energy and you use that vibration and become one with it. That's satsang. Now, many people immerse themselves in conversations and groups and environments of the opposite of satsang. And this is why we say, leave your other perceptions outside the doors when you come in, because we are here to elevate each other. Complaining is a form of anti-satsang. Gossiping is a form of anti-satsang. Being in negative conversation, watching terror or crime on television can be a form of anti-satsang. Or another way to put it, it's just a buzzkill. And this is why it is so important to put your mind in the atmosphere of a higher vibration to counter the effects of anti-satsang. So here is another perspective to remember, my friends, that you are not a physical being in a physical universe. You are an energetic, vibrational being in an energetic, vibrational universe. And that is why it is so important to have another way of looking at this gathering place. Many people think that they go to a gathering place like this and they're just another body in a seat, and it's far from it. You are a gift to others who are here. You are an energetic frequency adding to the love, adding to the joy, and adding to the healing that can occur during a Sunday service. And for this place, this community where God is palpable, where joy is the experience and love is felt, and that each person in this spiritual community leaves here upgraded in their frequency. And then as we leave here with an upgraded frequency, we go out into the world, upgrading those in whom we come in contact with. My friends, we are here on this planet to serve one another, and what better way to be of service than to experience our own upgrade in this spiritual community?
Isn't she incredible? Right? She still has me thinking about my boyfriend that left me for the cheerleader. How about some of you? Raise your hand. It's okay. You're not on camera. One goes. We all love the ushers at the theater, and often when we're coming in last minute, we rely upon them deeply because they are the ones that take the light and show us where to sit. So this one particular usher, he's being trained, and the manager comes up and says, "How's it going?" He says, "You know, it's a huge responsibility to be an usher." And he said, "You have to be aware and you have to know where all the doors are and you have to exit people, you know, when there's a fire." And the young man looks at him and said, "Well, don't worry about me. I'm going to sit at the very back. I can be out in 2 seconds." So he had a role. He had a title, but he didn't take it to heart, what it actually meant. He had a name tag. You and I, we have a name tag. We have agreed, we were sent. We incarnated in this lifetime to have great purpose and great meaning. I love that saying that Marianne Williamson uses, and there's very few to me that have caught me in a better way, where, as I paraphrase, it says it's not, you know, we're mighty beyond measure. It's not our smallness that is keeping us from experiencing our upgrade. It's being afraid of what our inner power, of what we are capable of, and what is possible. And part of the way that we experience the upgrade is we truly own, it doesn't matter what age we are, it doesn't matter what path we've had, just instantaneously in the moment, for us to own, I have a purpose here. Say that with me. I have a reason to be here. And I make a mighty noise unto the Lord. Say that with me. Now, some of you are already going to start arguing and talking about that you're not an extrovert. Oh, well, like you, Temple, I'm not an extrovert. I'm actually in public an introvert. Get very shy. I'll talk to the same person the whole party, never go to outside those doors, right? So it's not about that. It's about a presence, an energetic presence. You can literally go in a store where there are no customers, and you'll be the only customer there. And if you hold this energetic presence, you just watch. The place will start to become crowded. It's an energy, it's a healing, it's a vibration. We are powerful beyond measure. I love a lot of the stories about Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind. And they said everywhere he went, he would go in the room, a restaurant or anything else, and go, "Hello, how are you doing? Hi, I'm Ernest Holmes. Hello, how are you doing? I'm Ernest Holmes." He would talk to the waiter. He would talk to the helpers. If the food was good, he would call the chef to come from behind the counter and ask everybody to honor and celebrate the food. This is part of the laws of nature, isn't it? That we're here to celebrate this grand beginning, this grand experience, this power that we call life. I figure if a little plant can break through cement, you've seen that, yes? Interactive, yes? Thank you. You've seen that plant break through the cement. If a plant can break through that, can you and I shine? Can you and I glow? Can you and I be grateful that our heart is beating, that we're breathing? It's likened to this mother that she looks outside and she sees his little boy and he's talking to the cat. And he's telling the cat how, he has to say his affirmations, and he's just doing all this with the cat. You got to be positive and all this stuff. And in a little while, she goes by and looks out the window again, and there's the little boy, and he's bathing the cat. And the cat's just going, And she goes, "What in the world are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm baptizing the cat." And she goes, "Well, honey, cats don't like that." And he said, "Well, he should have thought about that before he joined my church." Right? When we come in and when we gather and when we hold this space of who we are, often people get into unity or centers for spiritual living. They want to go somewhere that makes them feel better because they were there, yes? They want to be with people that relate to them and make a connection. But that's not the stopping point. It's about not keeping it to ourselves. It's about Sunday being every day being Shabbat. It's about spreading the energy of life and holding a container of well-being, learning to be more detached from what we feel like our family and our friends ought to be, and holding a space of what can be, right? And holding that wonderful magic energy in our lives. But I invite you to think about this week how you can expand further. If you're over 30, my saying is you're not allowed to blame your parents anymore. If you're over 30, give them a rest, okay? It might have been tough growing up. It might have been that you came from a dysfunctional family, right? But set them free. We own responsibility here. We step into a knowing here. We're not self-centered, as I said last week. We're centered in spirit. We're drawing from a well that never runs dry. So when we're walking along like this, I don't know how I do it, do you? That's our issue, because I'm not the one doing it. There's something greater. There's this power, the same power that electrifies that plant to burst through cement, that same power that brings forth healing and awareness, that power flows through me. And it's allowing and getting out of the way. When we're talking about how can I do this? How can I handle this? Our personality has already taken over. When we do that, we've already cut off the vibration. Can you see that? Because I start putting myself in a box. You start putting yourself in a box. But when I come from, my soul is here to magnify the Lord. There's an energy that's coming to me that I don't have to produce. I don't have to create. I just have to allow and let go of control. Everybody breathe, because that's a big word. Put your hand to check your pulse. Right? Control is a big word. Many of you don't know, but when I was in ministerial school, I asked the teacher not to call on me because I was so terrified. That went on for 3 years. You know, they're like, you really got to get a grip. If you're going to be a minister, you're going to have to learn how to speak out loud. When we allow, when we step into a place of surrendering, we get to witness and see things about our lives and our heart that we never knew was possible. We have healings. We become ageless. You know, 150 years from now, all new people. They used to say 100, but I've changed that to 150. Because we've got lots of people living to be 100. That's nothing to aim for, right? We want to aim higher. Look at your lives. How can you experience an upgrade? How can you look at the people that have given you the privilege to love them, and how can you get further in? How can you look at your family and get further in? How can you look at your programs and get further in? What is it in your life that you can do to shift this upgrade? How can you get further in your community? Next Sunday is Friendship Sunday. How many of you have any friends? 3 of you back there, we'll talk. Help support something that has the capacity and has changed so many of us already, yes? So I'm going to close by saying there's this story of a woman, and she's in a hurry. She's very busy. She has a very big schedule. And so she's rushing around in her car, and she's going for every green light that she can get. And all of a sudden, a man in front of her is coming upon the light, and it turns yellow. Well, she thinks, surely he's going to go through, right? Well, he doesn't. He slams on brakes and stops for the yellow light. Well, she lays on her horn, starts this loud noise, puts her hand out the window doing sign language, right? And by this time, a police officer is over to the side, and he's like, what in the world? So he pulls his car up to the car and says, ma'am, I need your license and to see your registration. And he goes back, and he's there for the longest time. And so in a minute, he says, ma'am, you're going to have to come down to the station with me. And she said, what? Excuse me, what? He goes, yeah, you're going to have to come to the station with me. So she's down at the station waiting a couple hours, and finally the officer comes and says, okay, ma'am, it's okay for you to go. And she goes, well, what did I do? I don't even know what I've done. He said, well, ma'am, you have to see it from my perspective. I saw what was happening there at the traffic light, and I looked at the back of your car. And he said, you're carrying on and everything, and you have bumper stickers on the back of your car that says peace. You know, love the world, love your neighbor, coexist. And he said, ma'am, I thought you were driving a stolen car. So I want you to hold that in your heart, your name, your purpose, who you are, what you be, the impact that you can make. And don't allow any moment to be stolen in your life. Be congruent. Allow all that you are to shine so that we may benefit. Thank you for being here today. Thank you.
Is it me? We're getting used to this order of service, so this is our favorite time in our service, and that is a time of taking your gifts and your tithes in your hands. And I'm going to call the ushers forward, if you will, come forward. And I say that this is our favorite time because what we know about the law is that as you give, it always comes back, and it comes back multiplied. Definitely. You know this law. So let us just take a moment to take our gifts in our hands. And I want you to take a moment to remember a time, and it could be right here, right now, but a time when you felt so over the top, prosperous in every way. You had this great well-being inside of you. Everything was going your way. And as you remember that time, take that energy, just insert it into your gift here. And I know that some of you give online as well, so just take a moment to think of the gifts that you give. And as you give with this great blessing, just know that it always magnifies. And so, dear God, I ask that you bless each of the gifts here today. And as each person gives from a heart of kindness and generosity, may it come back to them 1,000-fold and even more in return, and may it come back to them in magical ways. And for this, we do give thanks. And so it is. Amen.
We've all got a suitcase full of history that we packed up in our younger days. But the shadows are disguised, so look it square into the eyes and watch that little bugger melt away. 'Cause you can't walk without a shadow in the light. You can't always be good, no, you can't always be right. You gotta live for the moment, keep the end in sight. You can't walk without a shadow in the light. I guess I'm just a walking contradiction. I got me a few skeletons to hide, but there's a way to loosen this restriction. We gotta shine a little light on our dark side. 'Cause you can't walk without a shadow in the light. You can't always be good, you can't always be right. You gotta live for the moment, keep the end in sight. You can't walk without a shadow in the light. Oh, Woody, go on. Shadow in the light. You can't always be good, no, you can't always be right. You gotta live for the moment, but keep the end in sight. You can't walk without a shadow in the light. Again, now you can't walk without a shadow in the light. You can't always be good, no, you can't always be right. You gotta live for the moment, you gotta keep the end in sight. You can't walk without a shadow. He's getting happy now. Oh, you can't walk without a shadow in the light. You can't always be good, no, you can't always be right. Just live for the moment, keep the end in sight. You can't walk without a shadow in the light. You gotta live for the moment, but keep the end in sight. You can walk without a shadow in the light. Oh, we're walking in the light today, everybody. Thank you. It's wonderful musicians.
Fantastic. Oh, you need to come here every Sunday and be our clapping monitor. I realize we need some help there. Oh, Forrest, it's your turn. Sorry.
Hello. That was just wonderful. Thank you. So, just a few announcements as we close out our Sunday service today. On our website, unitysb.org, is where you can sign up for our newsletter, and we have so many new exciting things happening that we're scheduling and planning and organizing. And really, I'm so grateful for this team we have now. We have such a wonderful team. And so there are some very exciting things happening, so you can sign up at unitysb.org. The next announcement is that we actually have a new setup of chairs outside. We really wanted to give people a space to connect, to commune, to stay and enjoy one another's presence. And so you'll see a setup of tables and chairs along our snack, and so feel free to enjoy yourselves out there. On May 8th, we have a Mother's Day service with a very special surprise. So be sure to bring your friends, and I think we think you're really gonna enjoy this one. Also, of course, as you know, we have a workshop today. And right after this service at 11:45, the doors open. At noon, the workshop begins, and it's with Kat, who is up here, and she guided our meditation. There is a $15 suggested starting donation. There's food there for an additional $10. I want to thank Chef Rick Villa because he donated this food to us. He donated his time as a professional chef, and he has, yes, thank you. He has a special message for us. He asked me to pass along to you. And he said, this is my gift. This is my food, and preparing food and delicious food is my gift. That's what he said to me. And he said, I want you to tell everyone here that they have their own special gift and talent that can make a difference in the world. And he wanted to remind us about that. So just want to pass that message along to you. I want to thank Kat for the workshop. I want to thank Peggy and Patricia for being so wonderful and helping to organize the event. And Gary for setting up the chapel and the grounds for the workshop. Thank you. Kat is a best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life and Surviving Cancerland. And they've been featured on Dr. Oz and The Doctors and CBS and NBC. She basically says, what she's written about the event here is that dreams are doorways to messages about our past, present, and future. Through dreams, we embrace the essence of our life soul purpose, a spiritual being having the human experience of reconnecting with Source for guidance and purpose. Join Kat as she helps us interpret our dream messages through this one-of-a-kind workshop, where you will reconnect with your spirit guides, guardian angels, and deceased loved ones, because love never dies when our dreams are alive. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
All right, now it's my turn. And so this is the time. Let us just take a moment to just really upgrade ourselves and give yourself a little pat on the back right now, because you have helped to upgrade each other. So as you go out into the world today, you go and make a difference. This is what we've done here today. And so with that, now let us stand and sing our peace song. join me in the prayer for protection? The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is.